All right, everyone, good morning. Let's go ahead and get started. I think we're about ready now, 9:05. So today what I want to talk to you guys about is creating a two-step approach to getting more business. The first step I want to talk to you guys about is creating what's called a lead magnet. I keep saying it wrong. A lead magnet will attract more people to be able to reach out to you. So we all know we're like God's gift to real estate. We know that, right? We're awesome, but other people out there don't know that. So we want to give them something of value in order for them to be motivated enough to be able to reach out to us. So how many times have you heard someone say, or have you heard me say that no matter how good looking you are, no matter, how many people you know, when you post something about a house, you will get more people asking about it. You will get more engagement on that post about a house than you ever will about taking your headshot and posting your headshot. So yeah, of course, we're all proud that we got our new headshots, and we should always promote our face because that is literally are going to be our how would you call it, like our logo. It's our signature, what we're known for. So definitely, obviously, we want to get our face out there as much as possible. But if we're looking to create engagement with people who don't know us, we want to use what's called a lead magnet. All right. So some people use, oh, get your free CMA. Some people say, a free CMA. And that may attract people from time to time. It might be a good thing for people to use. Other people might say, hey, would you like to get a list of open houses this weekend? Click down below, whatever the case may be. So today we're going to talk about some lead magnets that you guys may have heard of before, have implemented before, and I'll share some with you guys that I'm using right now. And then we're going to talk about how we can take those leads that came in through our lead magnet and how we can convert them at a much higher rate. Okay, so we're going to work on both of those things today. So yeah, I just want to thank everyone for being here today. I see we have about 8, 9, 10 people on the call. We have someone new joining us, Peter Carvalho. Thank you, Peter, for joining us today. Maybe you could introduce yourself maybe towards the end of the call today. And thank you for being with us, everyone. So let's go ahead and get started with examples of what a lead magnet could look like and where we can actually implement it. So first of all, if we're new to real estate and our budget is very low, we don't really have much money to throw at it. Obviously, that's not something that we want to consistently have a problem with, but initially, it's the truth, it's the reality. And I've taught a lot of you how to get free leads without having to spend any money at all. So one of those ways of getting free leads is obviously being just consistent, very consistent. That's the name of the whole thing here, is consistency, being consistent on social media. Okay. Don't expect to post one thing and have people reaching out to you like it's, you're the only person in the world that does this. We want to build consistency because along with consistency, you're going to start to train people to associate you with your product, which is real estate. When they think real estate, I want them to think Steve. I want them to think Tabby. I want them to think, all the people that are on this call today, they need to think of you when they think of real estate. That is the only goal that you should have in your first year, or if you're getting restarted with real estate, maybe you took some time off. The only objective of your campaigns are just to build a presence. Okay, that's it. That's all you have to do. Let me tell you guys a quick story. So when I opened up Culture Estate along with Joelle and Melanie, and we had, we had like a few agents. We had like 2 or 3 agents at the most. And one of them was my sister. I don't know if you can even count her because she was only part-time. We didn't have a lot of agents. And at the same time, I was facing a lot of insecurity because it was the 3rd real estate company that I worked at in 2 years. So I was thinking like, oh my God, I'm having identity crisis. People are going to think that I'm just very unstable. Switching companies is one of the worst things you can do in real estate because people think that, you're maybe not serious about your business. Who knows, right? That's all the things I kept telling myself, all the lies I kept putting in my head. But what I did was I said, the only thing I can control is I can control the story, the narrative. So what I did was obsessively, I started posting on Facebook and Instagram about our story, about how we're starting a real estate company from scratch. We had very little manpower, very little funds. I posted videos and pictures of us painting furniture, like old furniture that was left behind at the office. I posted pictures of before and afters of what our rooms would look like when we had red carpeting and green walls, or green carpeting, red walls. When I think it was red carpeting, it was ugly, guys, ugly, 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 horrible. And at the moment, while I was posting all this stuff, I would think to myself, like, what are people going to say? Oh my God, like, it's weird, but at the end of it all, what we ended up doing was we ended up creating a following of people who just wanted to see us succeed. Because what do people like? Why do movies like Rocky do so well? Why does the term underdog exist? It's because people like to see others who are facing adversity, who have the chips stacked against them, to do well. So what does that mean? Obviously, nobody in this call is a $1 million producer. Nobody here is closing 100 transactions a month. So you're all underdogs. I don't care how well you think you might be doing, you could always do better. So what I want you guys to do is to think, how can I personify my story? How can I put it out there? How can I be more personal with my audience? Because at the end of the day, social media is intended for you to build relationships with the people who are watching you. Now, I will tell you, I've been guilty of not being so interactive on social media recently in the last year or so, because I'm still trying to figure out which direction I want to take the business in. But once I do figure out where I want to go, which is going to be very soon, I'm right on the cusp of that now. I'm going to be going 100 miles an hour, just like I did when I opened up culture. And I want you guys to do the same thing. If you guys have clarity on what you're doing and what you're going to be doing now for the next few years of your life, I want you guys to really double down on that and start by telling your story, even if it sounds weird or Dr. Philish, like I don't care what you think it sounds like. People want to connect with you. Now, we've all have people in our life. We all have people in our life who we can go to and talk to and say, look, I'm having this problem, or look, I'm really excited because this happened. People that we can really kind of like pour ourselves into. Think about your audience, the people who are watching on social media, as that person. Talk to the camera. Don't be scared. If you guys are scared to talk to the camera, I'm telling you right now, you guys are in the wrong business. Because I was terrified to talk to the camera. Ask Joelle, she's on the call. I was terrified to do that, but I got over my fear real quick, because my goal was only had that standing in the way, because I didn't have the budget to put out thousands of dollars in campaigns for ads. I didn't have the sphere of influence to just carry me on referrals. I didn't have any of that. The only thing I did have was the opportunity to leverage social media, and I did. We just went at it and we went crazy. So we got to the point where I said, you know what, this is working for us, and it's worked for me. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to challenge the real estate agents to work with us to do the same thing. And I said to the crew at the office, I said, look, this month we're going to have a competition, and I know that we're all at different skill levels and we're all at different points of our career. Some of us just got a license and some of us have had our license for years. So I'm going to give you guys a challenge that is going to be equally as hard and difficult for each one of you. Whoever posts the most social media content about real estate this month, or even about yourself, whoever posts the most content this month will get 1,000 free leads, or contacts so you guys can use the prospect. So that month we had a few agents really go at it. One agent in particular, you guys would probably know who he is. His name is Harry Page. And I just had a conversation with him last week, and I said to him, I actually called him for some advice on marketing with Zillow, because I know he did a lot of Zillow marketing. I wanted to ask him for some of the new agents that have coming on now, is Zillow still worth it? So when I called him about that, he's like, you know what, man, the thing that's really worked for me the most, and he's like, I used to spend thousands of dollars on Zillow a month. He's like, after spending about 20 grand on Zillow, I ran my numbers, and he's like, we broke even on Zillow leads. I was like, wow, that's pretty intense. But obviously one example is not going to be the rule for everyone. Some people do excellent on Zillow, some people hate Zillow. But I will tell you this much: what Harry told me was that what's worked for him the most has been Facebook, and organic Facebook, as a matter of fact. And then maybe boosting some of his posts from time to time, posts that do really well, posts that are very engaging. But he said to me, from the moment that I had that contest with the office, he's like, I just saw how well it worked for those 30 days that I never stopped. He's like, that's what I've built my business on. And if you guys know who Harry is, some of you don't, I'll explain to you really quick. When Harry came to our office, Harry had gotten pummeled, like literally taken advantage of at his last real estate company. He had very good people skills, very good with connecting with people. He's an extreme extrovert, but he didn't know anything about the real estate business. He was just taken advantage of by his broker and his mentors at the last office. So he came in and he left all of his listings behind. He basically started from scratch. And I told Harry, just stick with the plan. And after 12 months, I guarantee you, you're not going to recognize your bank account. Just stick with it. So there were times when he felt like giving up, times where he broke down, times where he needed, he needed help. And along the way, I just said, look, trust the process, man. We kept telling each other like, all right, man, I believe in you, Lou. I know you already done it, and I know you wouldn't steer me wrong. On his 12th month to the day, guys, he closed 8 transactions in 1 month. And I'm telling you right now, his life has never been the same ever since. And the only secret that he can tell any one of you guys, you'll pay a mentor or a coach thousands of dollars a month to tell you this, is that it's been consistency. Now, consistency in social media for him, and I'm using him as an example because that's what we're covering today, is really what has made the difference. And I'm telling you guys, if you guys go to social media, you'll be blown away by knowing that this guy has only been in the business for a few years. His wife has only been in the business for maybe 2-3 years now, and they're crushing it. They're both cappers. They're both icon agents. And just think about what that means financially for a family who had zero money and a bunch of credit card debt just about 4 years ago. I'm not making this up. So anyone can do it. So what I'm telling you right now is that putting your message out there and being consistent is one part of it. But the next part of it is going to be getting people to reach out to you. How do you lure them in? You got to give them something of value. So this is going to be something that you guys are going to have to take on as a project of your own, figuring out what is it that's needed in my marketplace. So let me give you guys a quick example. I'm going to show you guys what I created recently for the Naples marketplace. Now, Naples has a lot of zip codes. I'm going to show you guys right now what I mean by that. Naples has about 13 zip codes. I didn't even know that until I started doing the research. I'm going to share my screen with you guys really quick. Yeah, check this out. So Naples has 13 zip codes, which range wildly between price ranges. The most expensive zip code in Naples is medium listing price, guys, $2.3 million. That's the medium home price. And there's other zip codes that are under 300,000 still, even in this market. So that's a 10x difference. Like, how does one know that? So how does a buyer coming into this marketplace know what zip codes to look in for their price range? So I'm adding this shortcut, cheat sheet, whatever you may call it, in order to be able to give people value. Now, your city, I know Miami has a lot of zip codes, so Steve might be able to implement this. Your city may not have 13 zip codes. You may have 1 zip code. So this may not work for every one of your circumstances, but you might have subsections. You may have, Elmore Hills. You may have the Port. Whatever is relevant in your town. If you can create something that educates a buyer coming in, because what do we all have in common right now? That a lot of buyers are coming in from different areas, people who did not go to high school in the city they're buying in, people who are coming in from different cities and different states, even different countries, and they're coming in not knowing much. So what could you do to stand out? Well, you can offer people something of value that's going to make them feel comfortable with reaching out to you, something that has enough value where they're willing to give you their phone number, their email address, and their full name. Now, when you offer this, you got to take them to what's called a landing page. Now, a landing page does not have to be something that you pay for, another expense. Oh my God, here I go with ClickFunnels and all these things. It costs $100 a month. You don't have to do any of that, because I'm pretty sure the majority of us here have access to Google. And if we have access to Google, we can create what's called the Google form. And inside of a Google form, we'll be able to create a landing page that looks something like this. If you guys don't know what a Google form or how to create a Google form, there's plenty of videos out there for you guys to learn how to create a Google form. But let me show you what a Google form consists of. You go and create a Google form and you require the email address to be inserted automatically. They don't even have to put it in themselves. The name is something that they have to put in, and you've got the phone number. Now, I made name required, as you can see here, and the phone number I did not make required, but you guys can if you want to. Or the only thing you would have to do is just go here and click on required, and now phone number is required. Very simple to do. Anyone could do that. Now, once they put the information in here, what you're going to get is you're going to get a list of you're going to have a spreadsheet that's automatically going to be filled in. The way that that's done is you go here to settings. I'm sorry, you go here to think of this settings. Preview. That's a preview. Responses. Yeah, here we go. Responses. So under responses, you can go ahead and create a spreadsheet. So that'll be easy for you guys to do. You guys can name it whatever you like, and then that's it. So as you can see, I put this in a video a couple days ago, and I've already got 2 people who requested the information. So because of that, now I could put these 2 people in my CRM, or I can email these people directly. Now, these are 2 more people that I've never met with before. I've never spoken to before. 2 more people that can possibly come out as a client. So these are easy things for you guys to do. Very simple. Anyone could do, no budget. Now, the second part of that is, once I have these people, what do I say to them? You know, like, am I going to be all weird about it and be like, hey, listen, kind of created this thing and get your information and hoping you'll work with me? No, of course not, right? We want to come in and always lead with value. Always bring value every time you make a conversation, and always make them feel comfortable. Not like they're a number, not like you're targeting them, not like you're needy. Okay. If you're acting like you're needy, they're going to immediately look at you like, oh my God, this guy's going to try to sell me something, right? So I learned something from a friend of mine who has done extremely well. This guy has gone literally from, in my time of knowing him, he's gone from being below average income. I wouldn't call him broke because he was always a hustler, but literally nobody you would want to be like, to being a multi-millionaire in the insurance business, the life insurance business. And one of the things that I took away from his approach, because he's an excellent salesman. I actually got to interview him one day because he's amazing. This guy's just a beast. One of the things that he says when he calls a lead is, I'm just getting back to you. Now, you guys may think that's very insignificant and very kind of like mundane, but when people hear I'm just getting back to you, they feel like, okay, I could drop my guard. I don't have to feel like I'm being scammed by someone, because, you know, a lot of people nowadays, they don't even answer phone calls of people they don't know. So when you lead with something as simple as, hey, this is Steve, and I'm just getting back to you on the request that you made recently on my site, you know, something like that. And that's going to kind of be like, the request I made, what are you talking about? Oh, yeah. So I put out a form the other day for anyone who wanted to know about the zip codes in Naples, and it appears that you put your information in. So I just kind of wanted to fill you in on what's recently been going on, additionally to the price ranges in different zip codes. So now you're not only going to be getting back to them, which is adding extra value, but you're also going to be adding more information that you couldn't put into a PDF or whatever you create. You create a JPEG, whatever you want to create for your information form. So I'm just getting back to you, let you know that some of the zip codes that I sent to you have a lot of construction going on in there, and the price ranges in those might be really escalating very quickly, and they're the most up and coming zip codes. So I kind of would like to inform you about that. And then, you know, obviously the person will be like, oh, really? So tell me, tell me more. And then, you know, maybe you can say, well, listen, by the way, like, my name is Steve, and I've been, real estate now for a few years, XYZ, whatever. Just tell them a quick little background on myself. Before I get started and telling you about, Naples, tell me a little bit about yourself. Build a little rapport, build a little bit of, because if you go all in on business right away, they're going to feel like this is just a business transaction. But if you take the time to ask them about, hey, listen, tell me a little bit about yourself, and they tell you, well, listen, it's just me and my wife, and we're expecting a child this September. I think it would be a good idea for us to move into this area. And so now you know enough to kind of pull on their heartstrings a bit. Now you know how to reinforce their decision making, because selling at the end of the day, really all it is restatements, right? And questions. That's really all it is. So if they give you the information that's important to them, all you need to do is keep rephrasing that in different ways. And then you just need to keep asking questions until they kind of answer the questions you want answered anyway. If you can become a master of doing it, and that's not going to be easy, guys. You're not going to nail it on the first try. You're going to forget things. You're going to talk too much. You're going to lead with more of a sales approach than you will like a friend approach. Remember, when we're making these calls, we just want to be their guide. We want to be their resource. We want to be their friend. If they feel like you're doing this as a script and you're doing this a dozen times an hour, they're kind of just going to feel like, oh, if you're treating me like a number, I'm going to treat you like another agent too. Because how many agents are there? There's 1 million agents, 2 million to be exact, in the entire United States. So we don't want to come across that way. We want to come across as someone that's invaluable to get them to their goal. So for instance, if I'm calling this person Matthew or Michael, who filled out the information recently, I'm going to say to them, well, Matthew, tell me a little bit about yourself. And Matthew tells me about his family. And then I say, well, that sounds amazing, brother. So, I mean, you sound a lot like me, or maybe you sound a lot like my clients. And I'll tell you what a lot of my most intelligent clients have done is X, Y, and Z. I've taken them to look at these zip codes because they have the best schools. I've taken them to see these areas because they have the most affordable housing. Or you sound like you want to be into a beach community. So I'm going to take you to see XYZ here because this area is very up and coming and you're only minutes from the beach. So, you kind of want to give them the value that they need, along with also reiterating what they've already told you. Because if the person tells me, look, I want to be by the beach, you can tell them how you're going to solve that problem and then reiterate what they already told you. So I know you said you want to be only minutes from the beach. So I think this community is going to be one of the best options for you because it's most affordable and there's a lot of new construction going here and you're only going to be steps away from that beach. Remember, reiterating, because everything that you do should be considering what they want, their outcome. Their outcome is always the most important thing. As long as you can keep remembering the most important thing on that call is them and not you, then you're going to be good. Obviously, you're not going to win 100% of every call. You're not going to win 100% of every client because they're not always going to be ready and they're not always going to be a good fit. You and them, may not be a good fit for each other. But the ones who are closable, you will close if you follow that simple approach. That's those simple steps. So I'm going to take a quick break right now and just allow you guys to kind of just jump in and ask some questions and tell me if you guys have a lead magnet that you work with. I know a lot of us like to use, you want to see the list of new homes in your area, click here, or this area, XYZ area. And I'm not sure if you guys know how to do this, but it's very simple to do on KV Core. On your website, you can actually create a page where if you go and say to everyone, hey guys, would you like to see the most recent listings in XYZ town? Just click right down below in the description. And if they do click on that, it'll take them directly to a page that has nothing but new listings. Or do you want to see all the foreclosures in this town? Click down below. It'll take them to a page with just foreclosures. If you guys have never done that before, I will show you how to do that. It's very simple to do. It's one of the most basic things to do. That could be a lead magnet as well. But let me just take a quick break and open up for conversation and questions and comments, whatever you guys have.
So I've done the landing page through EXP, the thing you just mentioned, and I put it on my Facebook and told a couple friends about it. And that's the only people who actually go there are my friends or the people that I physically tell about. Yes. How do you drive like more traffic to that other than posting it to your page? Or
yeah, that's great. So now if you've already kind of exhausted your friends and everyone else with that kind of marketing, throw a couple dollars behind it and market it to people who are visiting Zillow, realtor.com. You can do that through Facebook. You could do it through Google if you want to, because guys, when people are searching for a home, the first thing they do is they go online and they say homes in XYZ area. And when people do that, they see all of these advertisements, in the top and the side. You can get really advanced with this stuff, and you can have people visit your site, and you can use Facebook's Pixel, which I'm going to get a little bit advanced than you guys, but really all it is like a tracking device. What happens is when people visit your site, Facebook can actually drop a cookie, which is kind of like a tracking device in their computer, which now wherever they go to different websites that are compatible with Facebook, it'll actually drop your ads in every one of the websites that they're visiting. So they could be on the Wall Street Journal after they're done with you, and they'll see your ad for homes in Miami. They'll go to Facebook later on in the day, and they'll see an ad, there's going to be in their feed, homes in Miami, and then you're going to keep seeing this. I'm like, man, this Steve guy is all over the place. He must be like spending thousands of dollars on his budgeting every day on his marketing. But realistically, you're only spending maybe a couple bucks a day, but they don't know that because they visited your website once and you're retargeting everyone who's visited your website automatically, which allows them to think that you have a much bigger presence, a much bigger ad campaign. And Steve, these are all things that you could really learn in less than a day. Like if you really just say, look, today I'm going to take out a few hours to just jump on a bunch of YouTube videos to learn how to market myself through Facebook, through Pixel, and how to really kind of hone in my marketing campaign. And I will tell you this, guys, marketing is not an exact science. The best marketers in the world do not create one ad and they just let it run forever. They always, they use an acronym called ABT, always be testing. Always be testing. No matter how good you think your campaign is, you just don't know if it's going to perform well. So I'll tell you right now, one of the best ways to do this is go through all of your most recent posts about real estate, not about like your weekend, and see which one has had the most engagement. And maybe throw some money behind that, because your organic feed, your organic engagement is already telling you. It's kind of like a how would I say, like you're getting a test audience for free, and they're telling you what people are liking, what is popular. So you can actually throw a couple bucks behind stuff like that, or you can actually look at all your posts and say, look, oh, people really gravitate to this particular home in this particular city. Why don't I create an ad saying the newest homes in this XYZ city, and make sure you use a picture of a house that's similar to the one that got a lot of engagement? Because you got to look at all these little things and then create something that the masses are going to enjoy. So Steve, I'm sure you're no novice to advertising or marketing, but do you think that you could improve your skills a little bit? Do you think you could fine tune them a little bit and maybe throw, I don't know, 10, 20 bucks a day at it until you get something going right? And then once you start getting real good traction from it, good leads from it, then you can kind of turn it up a notch and maybe throw 10% of every closing back into your marketing.
Yeah, 100%. I'm kind of messing around with it right now and almost feel like I'm wasting money because I'm not getting the response that I want.
Yeah.
However, I have noticed recently that some friends on Facebook and Instagram, where I have been putting my $5 a day, for the past month or so, they're starting to reach out, and I haven't spoken to these people in years, and they're like, oh, I noticed that you're doing real estate in Miami. How's it going? Can you help me? So I think it's just a timing thing where, the first week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe even a month, I wasn't seeing anything. And I'm like, should I be spending this $200 a month here?
Yeah.
But now that 30, 40, 50 bucks a week is really starting to turn around, even if I am connecting with one friend who I haven't spoken to in 10 years because they're looking to move to Florida. So I think, like you said, it's definitely trial and error, and it's a lot of constant learning, because also people's attention spans are constantly adjusting. So you're almost chasing the masses constantly, I feel like, with marketing, but you have to always be changing it. And like you said, there's so much that I could learn. I'm kind of scratching the surface here, and there's some things that are not even real estate related where I'll go do a video of me working on the beach, and I get 5 people that reach out to me like, I hate your life, but you know what? Can you help me have that?
Yeah.
Things like that are way more attractive to my group than showing a $2-3 million house tour, because I think that's amazing, but my masses might not necessarily be able to afford that home, or they think it's cool, but they see that all over the place on Instagram. So, I've definitely noticed the real stuff gets a lot more of a connection than the marketing stuff. I just posted a picture of, friends at dinner this weekend, and within 20 minutes, I got, 20 likes, instant, gratification, versus I posted a picture of an office photo when I was there at the office in Jersey, and that was posted for 9 days now, and I only have 24 likes.
Yeah.
So, within a matter of minutes, something personal will get 17 to 25 likes, versus something that's posted work related will get, that amount of likes within a whole week's span of time. It almost makes you think, do people even want to see the real estate stuff? Because they all know that you're a realtor if you just dribbled some of it in. Exactly. I feel like they want to see more of your real life. And you know what? I live in Florida, so here's a picture of a beautiful beach, or I'm growing some flowers on my balcony. I put a picture up of that. Like, people like that stuff more than buy this house for sale, just listed. Obviously that's great, but it's almost to the point where you don't want to pound it down these people's throats where they're unfollowing you. You want to keep it real where they're engaged and like, oh, I wonder what he's going to do this week,
Exactly. Exactly. And I've learned from a lot of great salespeople that when selling is best done when you intermingle it into your story. So if you're in the beach, a great ad for you might be you working in the beach, maybe creating an ad about, hey guys, I know a lot of you may be out there right now kind of, bursting from the seams, trying to get out of your house. And I'm here working from my beach. And, real estate has allowed me to do that. And if you're looking for a place down here in Miami, I'd love to help you with that. Maybe something more organic, like being like, hey guys, I know that you guys are all struggling. Hey, listen, we're struggling too, with this whole, lockdown situation. I mean, you get creative with it. But if you're telling me that the best things that are engaging with your audience are you showing your lifestyle, then show your lifestyle and create an ad. Maybe you just posting a picture of a house and waiting for people to click on it is maybe not working. So try a short video, 30-second clip or 40-second clip of, you working on a beach and, telling people about, moving out of Miami, and then maybe sprinkle in a few quick pictures of houses, or condos or whatever the case may be, and just give them a reason to click on the ad, give them some kind of value in that video. If you're interested in seeing what the newest listings are in Miami, use the link down below. I think you tried that instead of using just a generic, I don't know if what you're using right now as far as like leads, for maybe you're just using like free list of open houses or free list of whatever, try that. Because if you're telling me that people are engaging more with the real you, people don't want to be sold to like a traditional real estate agent because there's enough of that going around. Maybe someone is like, oh my, that guy Steve looks pretty cool. Working on a beach, that looks like something I want to do. Try it, man. Just test it. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, it's 100% a great idea. I appreciate it. Now, a question that I have is how I always see like swipe up here,
Okay.
or at the bottom of your post. How do you get that on Instagram?
Okay, well, there's two ways to do that on Instagram. Number one way to do that is if you link it to a video that is on your Instagram TV, you're allowed to swipe up. And the second way, well, three ways. Second way is you can be a verified account, but to be a verified account, you obviously need a lot more restrictions to do that. You need to be an influencer. And the third way to do it is create an ad. So if you create an ad and pay for it, you can have the swipe up option on there. So is that what you're referring to on your ad?
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So
Because my ads are just generating conversations into my inbox. I was doing redirects to my website, but I was noticing that nobody was actually registering once they got to my website. They were just like clicking there and not going anywhere. So I changed it up to maybe having conversations into my inbox, and that's good. But I obviously want to mix it up and add a couple of different varieties for the people that don't want to have a conversation.
sure. So I think that your objective on your Facebook, because you're creating the Instagram ad through Facebook, I'm sure, right? Or are you doing it directly through Instagram?
I do it directly on Instagram, and then I copy it to my Facebook.
Okay, so that might be one of the reasons why you're not seeing the option to swipe up. And when you do it on Facebook's back end, you can control where it's being seen. So if you look at if you look at your results from where your leads are coming from, it'll show you how many are coming from stories, how many are coming from Instagram, how many are coming from Facebook, how many are coming from the outside world, outside of Instagram and Facebook. And you can say, well, it doesn't look like I'm getting much from here, and people are clicking, but I'm not converting here. So let me just turn that one off. Or you can also, I'm sure it'll give you more options on what to do on Instagram. But the swipe up option, I'm 99% sure, if you have a paid ad going, you can definitely swipe up, because I've seen people, as a matter of fact, I've swiped up on some ads that I've seen on Instagram. Haven't you?
Yeah, I do it all the time just to see kind of how they work. And I mean, honestly, sometimes I've been attacked and actually purchased those ads sometimes, or products that they advertise.
Yeah, because they're smart. If you're doing that, you got to take. If you're doing that, you're luring people to swipe up, and you're redirecting them to your website or landing page. You really have to go the full gambit. What I mean by that is you have to then remarket to those people because I'll tell you right now, it works. Like I was getting, I swiped up on a post recently for one of my clients because he's looking for an in-ground pool contractor for in-ground pool. And I so happened to see an in-ground pool company on my Instagram. So I swiped up for him to get him a quote. And I'm telling you, these people marketed to me for like, they still market to me today, even after I've asked them to stop. I've even given them my client's phone number. They were hitting me up left and right on social media, by email, by phone calls, by text messages. Guys, I'm telling you, I really admired their follow-up. I'm like, if I was literally, if I was in the market for a pool, I'd have these guys come over just to get them to stop messaging me. Like it was really, really impressive how much follow-up they did. So if anyone can take anything away from that, and maybe you guys have experienced the same thing. Maybe you guys have swiped up on a pair of jeans or maybe a hoodie or something, and then you see that company all over the place, and I don't think they'll be calling you, but some of the best marketers out there do outbound calls. Guys, so if you get leads, don't expect the lead to call you or message you. You got to go in there and pick up the phone and call them. That's half the battle. I listened to a guy by the name of Alex Harmozy. He's the guy who created he's got health and nutrition brands, and he's just like really, really successful guy. But he does a lot of business education on YouTube. And one of the things that he spoke about is that when it comes to creating a business on Facebook many years ago, you would be able to create ads and people would convert. So you spend, let's say, $1,000 on ads and you'd convert $2,000 worth of business. So it was like a no-brainer. That's all you had to do. But then Facebook changed their algorithm. So leads were costing you more than what they were converting out to be. So he's like, oh my God, my business is over. It's done. I'm just going to hang it up. And then he started calling other gyms and asking them, how is it that you guys are surviving? He said, well, we've taken our leads and we've turned them into outbound calls and we've called them and converted. So we're doing great. He's like, oh my God, why didn't I think of that? So then he converted all of the leads that he was getting in and started creating an outbound call where he would convert people to come to his gym. So he went from making it like a 50% or 100% markup on his ad costs to making it like a 10x return on his lead costs. So don't expect the moral story is, don't expect people to call you because you had a fancy ad. When you collect their information, make sure to reach out to them and have that conversation with them instead of just sitting there complaining about why your ads are not working. And one other thing that Steve said that really stood out to me was that, yeah, I know I've only been doing it for a couple of weeks, but I'm gonna stick with it. Yes, stick with it. But at the same time, always measure the success of your ads along the way. So if your ads are not converting, Facebook will tell you if they're converting on above average, average, or below average. So look at that, and it'll tell you if they need to be tweaked. Now, if they're doing great, and Facebook is telling you you're above average, then maybe you just hold on to it. Maybe you hit the nail on the head in the first try. But if they're not converting at above average rate, I would say consistently swap out your ads and then see what does work, and maybe tweak your demographic a bit, and then try it and see how it works out. But try it for at least 90 days. I mean, some people say six months is like the number one rule of thumb for advertising. Give everything 6 months before you say, look, this works or this doesn't work. But at least 90 days, guys, I'll tell you right now, because if you don't do it for at least 90 days, you won't give it enough time to really soak in to the psyche of the people that you're reaching out to. Because many of us, think about it, we don't buy things on the first time we see it. We keep seeing that brand over and over again until we're like, you know what? That Chipotle place looks pretty good. I'm gonna go check it out because I keep seeing their ads. I keep seeing that steak bowl. I keep seeing this. I keep seeing that. Or maybe that car that, I didn't need a car right now, but I keep seeing that car. And maybe when you're in the market for a car, like, oh, I keep seeing that really cool car. I'm going to go and check it out. It takes time, guys. It doesn't convert 1 minute to the next or one day to the next. Same thing goes with follow-up. If you're calling your clients, you're calling your leads, most of your leads won't convert on your first phone call. So the only thing you really have to have as an objective when you call these people are basically like a commitment to work with you, or B, a follow-up phone call. Those are the only two objectives that you should have on a call. Obviously, some people be like, listen, I clicked on your ad by mistake. I'm sorry, I don't know who did it. Yeah, that's fine. There's people you weed out. But from the people who are serious, you either want to have a commitment to work with you or be a follow-up phone call for the future. That's it, man. That's all you really have to get out of it. Yeah, so I'm sorry, guys. I'm really taking up a lot of your time, but go ahead and ask some questions. I'm sure you guys have some good questions here.
I don't particularly have a question, but I remember when I first joined with you and you taught all of us, but I really took it by the horns on how to generate ads
Yes.
in Marketplace.
Oh, nice. Good.
I've gone back to that because I started putting money out with Land Voice and things, but going back to those market ads is loading up my KV core.
Oh, that's great.
So when you're talking about free and organic, sometimes the old rule does apply. Go back to basics.
Mhm. Yeah, I did an experiment many years ago when I told the agents, hey guys, you guys need to start doing some free marketing. If you're not getting enough leads, you're brand new, free marketing. So what I did was I told them, look, I'm going to go and I'm going to post a bunch of ads on Craigslist. And, we all know that the majority of the leads you're going to get in Craigslist are going to be, wholesalers trying to, get business from you or deals from you, or maybe people who are not interested. But maybe 1 out of 10 leads or 1 out of 20 leads, it doesn't matter, is going to be a bona fide client or someone that's serious. So when you're not paying anything for your mark or for your lead source, can you really complain if 1 out of 10 or 1 out of 20 are going to convert? No, of course not. So what I'm telling you guys right now, if you're brand new and your budget's zero, you got to consistently do those Craigslist ads, marketplace ads, Facebook, like all those things that people are like, oh, it doesn't work. Well, have you done it long enough? Did you do it every day for 90 days? Did you do anything long enough to say it doesn't work? Of course, nothing works on a first try, nothing. And if it does, it's probably not going to be sustainable. It's probably just a one-off. So thank you for that, Belinda. If you guys are curious about how to create marketplace ads or anything like that, just you guys can either look it up on YouTube or go to our channel on Culture Estate and look up that training. But it was very simple. You guys just have to go into Facebook Marketplace because that's the modern day Craigslist, a little safer. Everyone there, usually most people are verified there. You can post a house from your area every day, a local house from your area. Now, I know you're going to say, I don't have any listings. Well, if you're with eXp Realty, you are one real estate brokerage for the entire world. You just need to go into your MLS and find out who from eXp Realty has a new listing. And if you want to go one step further and just shoot a text over to the agent, say, hey, listen, I hope you don't mind. I'm going to post your property up on a Facebook Marketplace. And, even if it's sold already, don't worry. I'm just trying to get some extra exposure for your property for backup offers and for myself because I'm a new agent. And I don't think there is one agent in the world who would tell you, no, Belinda, do not market my property because we don't want any extra exposure for it.
Look,
Yes.
okay, yeah, sorry to interrupt you. So I've been doing about a year ago, you mentioned on a marketplace and all this stuff. So I started doing it consistently for like the whole year. And of course, people, it look like the kids they give the phone to the kids or whatever. And they just clicking, interested, but you answer right back. And most of them don't never reply, but I stick to it. And I'm closing one next week, came from Marketplace.
Buyer?
Free, yeah, buyer, yeah. Free, yeah, totally free.
Yeah.
He actually one of the houses. He was already working with another realtor and he got a bad experience. Like he couldn't close in one house, so he lost his inspection. And he was kind of iffy about it at the beginning to try. And I said, hey man, give me a chance. I work with a great team and I want to get you home. He's yeah, so we close it next week. So it works, but it took some time and a lot of people asking. It's a lot of people that ask and stuff. But maybe if I follow up, I was thinking to go back to everybody who reach out to me and just go back and say something like a text message to follow up. Because yeah, but it works.
No, it does. Works. Yeah, absolutely. You go back and send everyone a message. That's easy.
Also, on my YouTube channel, I also reach out to some agent and test them. Hey, listen, can I advertise just like I did with your listing?
Yes.
On Plainfield. So you just never know. Some people just click on the YouTube. On the YouTube, I got my it's like a funnel type because I do the link for my KV Core website, my Instagram and Facebook. I put it like right on the description, just
Yeah.
for them to, to find out to my direct, or my smart number. But it works. I mean, it takes time. It takes time and a lot of follow up, but it works.
Oh, absolutely. Everything works. You give it enough time. Now, see, the key is this. Now, imagine if Alejandro was a brand new agent. He had zero budget. He did this for a year and he's closing his first transaction right now. Alejandro, what is the gross commission on that transaction?
9,000, and I'm already capped. So,
So
it's
9,000.
100%.
Imagine
Nine.
that, 9,000. So if Alejandro is a very disciplined, business-oriented guy, he's going to think to himself like, all right, I just made $9,000 on this transaction. I'm going to take 10% of that and put it towards a marketing campaign. Now he's going to take $900 and budget himself over the course of maybe the next 3 months, $300 a month. Do you think chances that he'll get another client from one of his sources with the $900? Of course, most likely he might even get more than just another client. And then he keeps doing the same process over and over again. And now he doesn't necessarily just get leads from his free source of Facebook Marketplace. Now he also has other avenues that are working for him. Maybe he'll create a Facebook ad, or maybe he'll create a YouTube ad, or Facebook or Google ad, whatever the case, maybe whatever he finds is value. Or maybe he just send out postcards to the neighborhood where he just sold the property. Whatever the case is, it's just consistency. It's all consistency, guys. I'm telling you, that's anything and everything in life is just consistency. You'll consistently be bad at it for a while until you're consistently good at it. And that's just the way it is. But I would encourage everyone to talk to other people who have already done it and just try to kind of get a hack or a shortcut in order to not make similar mistakes that maybe other people have made. So if you can look up people on YouTube or ask people around you, go into the EXP world, go into did you guys know that the EXP Facebook Marketplace has groups for marketing? They have groups for advertising, for prospecting. They have groups for any type of business related issue that you can have in real estate. So take advantage of that. If you guys are creating an ad, go in there and say, hey guys, I'm creating this ad. Have you guys had any experience with Facebook ads converting or Google ads converting? I'm sure you're gonna have some people in there who are masters or wizards at it. So I would always encourage you guys to ask if you're just getting started with something. Anyone else want to add to that?
Last thing,
Yes.
you instructed us or advised us that it was good to do a YouTube video. I did one back in February of why I left New Jersey,
Yes.
and I didn't go back to it because of the consistency. I was saying that, that was my first video put out.
Mhm.
Well, when I went back to it yesterday, because I had this idea to just in our EXP marketing, we have the market watch and the newsletters. And I'm like, I don't even look at my email. So I had this idea to start doing videos, reading the tips in the newsletter
Okay.
and going in and posting that. So when I went, long story short, when I checked YouTube, that video, miraculously, there was 334 views
Wow.
in 1 week. And when I checked my email, I had 16 inquiries regarding my move from New Jersey to Georgia.
Yep, look at that. Or totally organic, totally you just talking about your experience, totally not selling people. That's really what marketing has come to nowadays. Back in the day, it used to be about heavy selling. Now it's more about education. So if you can find a way to give people value and educate them, you'll get all the leads you ever need. And then once you find something that works, like I'll tell you right now, Belinda, that video worked for you. What I would do if I were you is I would go into the AdWords. That's the marketing end of Facebook. I'm sorry, of Google and YouTube, and use that video to be kind of like your anchor video, where you can put some money behind it, so YouTube shows it to more people. Because if you throw $100 a month at it, you're going to get a few thousand views on it, and if you know that that video is converting, you just tell YouTube, listen, show this video to more people like the audience that I already had, or you can say, look, show this to more people who are in the market to buy a home. Show this to people from New Jersey, or whatever the case may be. And you will be amazed at how many leads you get, because you already proved it, that you got 16 inquiries from a video that only has a few hundred views, which is incredible conversion. And you've already proven the fact that this video is actually something that people engage with. So now that you have that, just boost it, put some money behind it. That'd be great. I'm sure you're going to do well with that. Anyone else want to contribute or add or have a question? Okay. The last thing I will leave you guys with is never waste a lead. So if a lead comes in, guys, you got to make sure that they're either automatically being thrown into your CRM, or you take the time once a week, once a month, however you want to set it up. You want to make sure you put every one of those leads into your CRM, and that you have not just put them into your CRM, but that you have attached a drip campaign to them. Okay. A drip campaign is very simple to set up. You can make it where it's email and text. And if you want to take it one step further and you want to really kind of like take it to the next level, you want to also set reminders that will remind you to pick up the phone every so often to call that person. Maybe you have your call days or every other day, or maybe once a week, whatever the situation is for your schedule. And then have those people with reminders on your CRM. So you're picking up the phone, they're getting emails from you, they're getting text messages from you. And I remember when I've helped you guys put together these CRM follow-up messages, do not make them very scripted. Do not make them where they have like this long signature address and a text message, or they sound very cold and robotic. Basically never go with the standard stuff that they provide you. Create your own. You know, these are all things you should do, because they will convert better when they're just very short, very simple, and very kind of direct to the point. So for instance, if I'm sending out a text message to Belinda, and Belinda fell into my lead base, I would just message Belinda in a couple of days or a couple of weeks, however I'm setting her up to have a follow-up, and say, hey, Belinda, hope everything is going great. Just wanted to let you know I'm here if you need any help. That's it. And then not even my name in it, because she's going to be like, okay, who is this? I'm like, hey, yeah, Belinda, this is Lewis. You recently requested more information on homes in Florida. So if you ever consider moving down here, or if you're already considering moving down here, you know, I'm the man for the job. And then, you know, obviously now what we did there was we created a dialogue. But if I were to send her a message that said, hello, Belinda Robertson, this is Louis Leva with eXp Realty. Did you know that 1 out of every 3 buyers is unsuccessful in making their first, winning their first offer? These are statistics from the National Association of Realtors. And in order for you to really make sure you don't leave any money on the table, you're gonna want to, you know, like that is already getting to a point like she's reading this message, and first of all, it's taking too much brain power. People hate having to use more brain power than they have to, and she can tell that this thing is not genuine. She can tell I either copy and pasted it, or it's coming from a machine. The more organic and short you can make it, the better. Sometimes I even message them with just their first name and a question mark. So it's like, Belinda, question mark. Yeah, who is this? Oh, okay. Now I got you corresponding with me. You know, like, guys, it's crazy how, you know, like these things work. But long story short is that authenticity, everything we've talked about today, authenticity and connecting and engaging is going to win in marketing, and just winning the hearts of your sphere, because everybody, like I told you guys earlier in this call, everyone is rooting for an underdog. So make sure you connect with them, engage with them, talk to them like a human being, show them that you're human too, and that, you know, you have bad days, not just good days. You guys have bad days, and you know, your lifestyle, you know, is cool and all, but listen, I'm just like human, just like you guys. You know, we have problems just like you guys. People really connect with that. Some of the videos that I've done on YouTube, where I've kind of just, you know, said, all right, let me drop all the professionalism and just talk to you like a human being. Oh my God, those videos get so much more engagement than the videos where I'm like showing them, you know, around town and bring out the best parts of the beach and all these things. And people love those videos, but they engage more with the ones where I'm talking to them like a human being. So keep doing that, guys. Keep connecting with your audience and keep following these simple steps of providing value and creating a system, because the system is what's going to take you to that next level. And just forget about the rest, guys. It's just going to be a consistent game. You guys will crush it. I'm sure you will. Anyone else want to add anything? All right, cool. You guys have been amazing today. Just want to give Peter, if you want to just introduce yourself, bud, and just let us know a little bit about yourself.
Oh yeah. First of all, it's a great meeting you got. I like the information, the advertising and stuff. It's, I mean, it's great. I mean, this is stuff that I've used and it works. Being genuine. And I mean that sells. Being genuine always sells.
Oh yeah, that's the game.
But I'm Peter. I'm the owner of Florida State Inspectors. In the realty market, but I am a home inspector here in South Florida. I cover Broward County, Palm Beach County, all the way up to Port St. Lucie, and then we go all the way west to Port Charlotte, Punta Gorda area.
Cool, man.
Pretty big operation, but I love sitting in on these realtor meetings because learning these tricks and keep market updates and stuff. It's all important. We're all in the same thing, right? And I heard somebody mention something about an inspection that killed their deal. I think it was Alejandro down there. But I think that's important. Having a good team includes having an inspector on your team that understands both sides of the deal. Not just going in there and making everything look horrible. So
Yeah, absolutely. I've always said that the inspector, really at the end of the day, they have the power to kill your deal if they don't have good bedside manner. Because we've had inspectors that have scared people half to death, and then we've had inspectors who have said, okay, well, your basement has, or you don't have many basements down here in Florida, but your basement has seepage, but it's not a big deal. This is how you would fix it, and this is how much more or less it would cost. At the end of the day, you could always ask the seller for a credit and then get this taken care of, and you never have this issue again. See, that's an inspector with good bedside manners, still covering their ass, still telling the buyer what they need to know, not just siding with the agent. So absolutely, and that's important. We all love inspectors like that. Yeah,
thanks for having me.
no problem. Thank you, Peter. Appreciate you joining us. Okay, let's close out, guys, with our prayer. Thank you, Father. We appreciate for all the blessings we have in our life, Father. Thank you so much for the little things in life, Father, just as having a roof over our heads, Father. Thank you for giving us the nourishments that we need, Father. Thank you for having the love of our family and friends, Father. And we thank you most of all, Father, for having us here in good health today. Father, we ask you to walk with us this entire week until we meet again next Monday, and to bless us, Father, so we can bless those around us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Thank you, guys. Have an amazing day.
Thank you. Thank
Take
you,
care.
everyone.
Thank you
Thank
for
you,
joining us,
everyone.
Peter. Take care, everyone.
Thanks, Louis.
No worries, guys. Take it easy.